Hi, my name's Marcy. I am known as Amnicon Studio over on Instagram and here on YouTube. Today is Friday, February 2nd, 2024, and I apologize for the long delay in between this video and the last one. I am out in my she shed this time around. I thought a change of scenery would be nice and that the light would be better out here. Plus, who doesn't love blue? Um, the other podcasters and Flosstubers I watch, they really aren't joking when they say sometimes some things take 5 takes before they finally feel comfortable with what they have. I think I've started this video at least 6 times and I haven't been happy with any of them except for the last one. So this one might be more edited than previous ones before. I've got the nerves going on again with recording, and I feel so silly about it. Yeah, I. It's just weird to look at yourself and talk to yourself like this. So, and I'm using a. I'm just really nervous. This time I have notes again. I wrote some things down. I have a finished object, but I don't have it with me because I gave it to my son for his birthday the other day. And he liked it so much that he already put it on display in his room. So I'll try to take a photo of it when I'm done with this and insert a photo of it. I I think I have that figured out with inserting photos. So I'll try to do that from now on. But in the meantime, I'll still have show notes over on my blog, which is at amniconstudio.blogspot.com. So yeah, I've got the one finished object I can talk about, a few works in progress for knitting, cross stitch, some goals for the next month, things that I did this past month, and a couple things, news, well, not news, but mail stuff that I got, which I don't order a lot of things, so it's kind of exciting when I do get my magazine subscription and anything that I order cross stitch wise. So let's get started. There's no way else to do it but just get started. First thing I want to talk about is my harvest cardigan. And I think the last time I showed it, I had not quite finished the backing yet. And after I finished the video, I got to working on this and got the backing done that weekend. And then I took, I think, a week off of working on it. And then I jumped on and started working on the sleeve. And when I finished the sleeve, I took a break from it again. I've got things a little bit differently this time around. I wrote notes on note cards. Most of the note taking I have is over on my blog, but since I'm using my computer, I can't really refer back to it. Harvest Cardigan, I started November 12th, 2023. It's by Tin Can Knits, and the yarn is from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, acrylic worsted weight in the cinnamon cedar colorway. I'm using size 6 needles, 4mm, and size 8, 5mm, and I'm making this for myself. And let's see. There is the first sleeve, the backing. I gotta say, I really like this yarn. I know it's acrylic and some people are not keen on using acrylic to make fabric clothes, but this stuff is really soft. I have another sweater that I made using this yarn and it's holding up really well. And it helps that I know how to properly care for a hand knit sweater now. No throwing it in the dryer. Let it air dry. Oh, and then The cardigan I'm wearing right now is made from Lion Brand Woolies, which has a little bit of wool on it, and it's holding up really well too. The only thing I would have changed on that was maybe make the sleeves a little bit longer, but that's a whole different thing. I'm hoping to start the sleeve this weekend, and if I'm really good and diligent enough, maybe I can get it done by Sunday before I go to bed. But I have a few projects around the house that I have to take care of, and we'll be celebrating my son's birthday this weekend with a dinner, so I'll have a lot of time taken up by some of those other things. And what else do I want to say? I can't think of anything else I want to say. I love the colors. I love the yarn. I can't wait for it to be done so I can snuggle up in it. I did pick up a button for it from Walmart, and I'm hoping it is not too big, but I think it'll work, and I think it'll look really nice with these colors. So that is that project. Other knitting projects I've worked on have been my vanilla socks. And I forgot to grab a sock blocker to put this one on. Let me consult my notes. Vanilla sock number 1, I started November 13th. Yarn is Patton's Croy sock yarn, amethyst stripes. Does that work? Yep. This sock I was mostly working on in the mornings before work, and anytime I went anywhere. My husband usually drives, so I can knit. And I like the colors on this, but I think it's kind of weird that there's these little pops of black. I don't know. At first, the first time I saw them, I thought it was maybe an accident, but as it's gone on more, I realize it's intentional, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but um, this sock I knit, knit, and then I thought, hey, I should probably measure this, and I measured it, and the time to decrease for the toe was probably half an inch back, and I thought about how to make this work because I didn't want to rip back. It's hard to pick up those tiny stitches. So what I did was, no, I didn't write that down. I started decreasing every row until I got down to a certain number, which the number I can't remember right now, but I know I have it written down in the notes on my phone. And then I Kitchener stitched, and it fits perfectly. The toe might look a little funny, but it fits really well, and it's plenty of room down by the toes. I don't like tight toes. So that was that one, and then it lives in the same bag with the other vanilla sock that I have. And this sock, I originally started on a 9-inch circular, and the last time I showed it is where the stitch marker was. I had just put in for the afterthought heel, and I realized that I was not working on this as much as the other one because I really didn't like working with that 9-inch circular. As soon as I got the purple sock done, which when I realized I wanted this sock on 2 circs, I really pushed to get the purple one done so I could put this sock on those needles. And I started zooming on this one, but I haven't worked on it for a little bit. I have what I try to do for my socks with afterthought heels. I usually knit till it's almost about the same length as the leg, and then I'll start decreasing for the toe, and then I'll put on the afterthought heel, which I usually, it's been several years since I've done a sock with an afterthought heel, but in the past, I used to follow the tutorial from, I think it's the Knit Girls, Leslie and Lala. One of them did a tutorial for the afterthought heel years and years and years ago, which makes me realize how long that I've been knitting. um, so I'll be glad to get that one done so I can see how this one fits. There's a reason why I stopped making the afterthought heels, and I don't remember why. So for 2024, one of the goals I had set for myself was charity stitching for a nonprofit called Make Bundles for Babies, which you can make little blankets and little hats and send them to a gal named Mallory. And she takes them and distributes them to hospitals across the country. And they're for parents who lose their baby. Either the baby was born too early and couldn't survive, or they had a late term miscarriage. And that is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, even though I haven't had a miscarriage myself or suffered any kind of infant loss. I know quite a few ladies who have, and I know what something like this could mean for them. So I set a goal to make at least one hat and blanket set each month, and then at the end of the year I'll send it off. And the first one I made from Pink Yarn, size G 4mm crochet hook, and here is the little blanket, which I still need to weave the ends in, and the little hat. Now the hat, I crochet pretty tight, or loose, I'm sorry. So the hat pattern I used, it called for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and then a kind of bind off decoration and edging that I've never done before, and I don't remember what I did, even though it hasn't been that long ago. The next time I make this hat, I'll have to lose 1 row. The hats are supposed to be 2.5 inches wide, and I think 2.5 inches tall, and I'm probably closer to 3 inches tall. The little blankets are minimum 12.5 by 12.5, and I will link to Make Bundles for Babies in the show notes in case you decide you want to charity stitch for them. For February, I realize I probably should have saved pink for February, but I wanted to make one for a girl. This next month, I'm going to make one for a boy, so I'll be using this yarn. Cross stitch has not been touched as much as I would have liked. I had this idea in my head that I was going to have the 12 cross stitch ornaments done by the end of January, and instead of working on cross stitch, I decided to take advantage of the momentum I had for quilting. And then this Quilted Christmas by Emily Call, which I got the PDF off of Etsy. Every time I pulled this out, something came up and I had to put it away. I think the last time I showed it, this part had not been done. Um, I love how this looks. I just can't seem to grab the time to work on it. And I think now that we're kind of getting away from Christmas and winter, I I might not work on it as much as I would have if it was still December. So this may take a little bit of a backseat. Um, and I realized on one of the other things that I'd shown, I didn't do this, but here we go. That's my stats on it. The fabric I hand dyed from some Charles Craft I picked up at Walmart, 18 count. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And the 12 Days of Stitchy Ornaments by Erica Made Designs. 14 count opalescent Ada that I got at Hobby Lobby. These are the ones that I've completed since the last episode. This one I made yesterday, because I've had yesterday and today off, and I thought I would get cracking on these. This one I had problems with. I got, let's see, how do I want to, okay. I started up here and did all the stitching over here, and it was correct. And then when I started working on this side somewhere, I lost track of counting, and I was actually one short. But by the time I realized it, I had already put the white in. And instead of ripping out all the stitches, I ended up covering over the stitches I had done with the correct color and then adding in the last line that I needed. So, but just the thought of ripping that all out when I was so close to being done, I could have cried. And this took me probably 2.5 hours, which I thought was an hour and a half too long. I tried stitching in hand, but that wasn't really working for me. This one I thought turned out really cute. Didn't take that long. And then we got a little candy cane, which probably took me an hour and a half. I did both of these yesterday, and then when I looked to see if I had any left to stitch, I have one left, and I'm going to start that today, this afternoon, before I have to start making dinner. And it would be so great if I got this project done this week. How cool would it be if I got this done and the sweater done this week? And then I could focus on something else. So, just looking at my notes. My finished project for this week, it was one of those fat cat crochet cats. I made it for my son using a gray yarn, which I happen to have right here because I put it away. Dora Ball flannel. This stuff's super soft. Anyways, he opened up the gift and he really liked it and said, I'm going to put it, wherever. And I looked later and sure enough, he did, prominently on display. So that made my mom's heart happy. And then he asked me if I had one for one of his friends, and I said, oh yeah, I already made her one. It's all ready to go. So I will remember to take a photo of that and put it, here, maybe? So yeah, I didn't get as much as I wanted done for January because quilting just captured my soul, and that's all I wanted to really work on. And I've been working on stuff for that at least 2 hours a night. And then I've been fighting with one quilting project right now, which I will have written about on the blog. I think my most recent blog post, as I'm recording this, was me kind of about it. And the next one, the next blog post that I will write today or tonight will be, why it's important to always read instructions. Let's see. So, goals. Although I wrote these when I thought I was going to be recording last week. If I had recorded last Friday, it would have been an entirely different type of video because I was in a mood, and I decided that it was probably best that I not record anything that day. So my goals, I want to complete the harvest cardigan by the end of the weekend. I'm not sure if that's attainable. We'll see. Crochet cap by February 1st. I already done that. I have not started the new cross stitches. I wanted to start the full coverage piece of the porcupine, and I have not started the one called One Piece. That's an anime thing that I want to make for my son and have done for Christmas. I think I'm still a little intimidated by the full coverage of the crested porcupine, so I kind of need to get over myself on that one. All my attention was on the quilting and sewing stuff, which if you want to know, if you want me to talk about my quilting stuff on here, I will. You just gotta let me know. Oh, weird. I don't know if this will show up when I hit record, but I think I just said, let me know, hit like. Something showed up on the video when I said something. It was like one of these in a bubble. So I'm feeling more comfortable talking to myself, and that was just weird. It's just like a reminder that something's always listening to you. Anyways, so for February, I want to do my charity stitch. I want to work on my monkey sock. I have not worked on that as much as I thought I would because I keep putting it away in a safe place and then I forget about it, or I lose where that safe place was. I think one time I found it tucked between my chair and the end table, and then another time I had it tucked in this bin that in my craft room that I put all my projects in when I don't want them sitting by my chair out in the living room. So I think one time I spent like 5 or 10 minutes looking for it and wondering what happened to it. Let's see. I'm trying to decide on a pattern for some of the yarn that I got from Temu. Because I'd like that to be my next sweater project when I'm done with Harvest Cardigan. And I'm thinking, because I don't know what the yardage is for the Temu yarn, I'm thinking about making another February lady sweater since that's kind of lacy and open, and I think it wouldn't quite matter how long the sleeves are, because the one I have now, there's sleeves to here, and it's fine. It's totally fine. It's for those days where you just need a little something, but you don't want to be completely cozy in your sweater. So I'm thinking I'll do that. I don't remember if I did any modifications the last time I made one. I think it was one of my very first sweaters, so I was just following the pattern, and maybe I don't remember. I'd have to go and download the pattern again. I don't think I kept it. If I do, it's in a 3-ring binder that's tucked away. So there's that. I was thinking about, because I need a break from the Christmas stuff, I was thinking about finding a small Valentine cross stitch to make. I haven't seen anything that I'm completely enamored with, and it would be a really quick stitch. And then I remembered that as much as I like the themed cross stitches, I'd prefer to have something that I can keep out all year. And then I remembered a cross stitch that a friend sent to me a couple years ago. Or I was having a discussion with some of my friends not long ago about the way people use words. I was gifted this a few years ago, but I'd shared this on my Facebook page and said how adorable it was and how cute I thought it was. We had a baby bun at about the time I saw this that looked just like this, and my friend reached out to me and said that she would like to send it to me, and I said that would be really nice and I would love it. So she did, and it came all the way from the UK. It was my first UK thing in the mail. Oop. I see that without the glare, but yeah. I could see this hanging up on the wall in my hallway or in my craft room or even out here. And then maybe down the road, hopefully years down the road, it could go up in a baby nursery for my grandchild, future grandchild. So I would like to start this in February. The fabric is like a spotted Aida cloth, most likely 14 count, because that is my go-to size. And then that can live in my new works in progress bag that I made in January. And I wrote about this on the blog that I was having a rough time with my sewing, which I still am, but this one I decided I was going to leave it as it is because I accidentally put the fabric on upside down on the back, and unless I show it to you, you're not going to know. So, but this is the side that counts. So there's that. Fun mail. I have a subscription to Just Cross Stitch. I've had it for the last few years. And I know there's a page here that shows all the different things that are in here. I'm not sure if any of the ones in here have really inspired me, although this one on the cover is really cute. And there's kind of that scenery one I kind of like, but I'd have to let it kind of marinate. Let's see if I can find this one. The colors kind of draw me in, and I'm a bit of a sucker for the mountain views. And then last year in December, the pre-orders opened up from Lindy Stitches for the Endangered Species Club. And of course I jumped in on that one because I am a big fan of Lindy Stitches. And the first, I think she said the first one was going to be a cat. And I'm all about cats. I love big cats. So it came with that. And when I first saw this, I thought, what does that stand for? And Endangered Species Club. I thought she was trying to tell me to escape. I chose the option to get the hard copy. And the first one is the Amur leopard. As you can see, the chart is huge, and that's really nice. I like that. There must have been a lot of people requesting that. Came with a sticker, and it's waterproof. So if I wanted to, I could put it on a water bottle or a big cup or something. And it came with the Fancy Floss, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Colorworks. And these colors, it looks like it's for the ledge the cat's on and for the orange of the cat. So I'm excited to start this one, although I don't know when it will be, because I don't like having too many projects going at once. Which is part of why I'm so excited to get a couple projects hopefully done this weekend. Yesterday, I happened to be scrolling on Instagram and I saw something about a Fibrary challenge. And I've seen that in past years and I've never tried to partake in it. This time around, I would like to try, although I already missed February 1st, which was an introduction, I think. So I'll have to write that at some point soon. Do my best to catch up, but I suppose I could do a brief about me right here. Do you already know my name? You already know my handle. My blog, I blog at amnaconstudio.blogspot.com. I am a self-taught knitter. I taught myself to knit probably 16 years ago. I learned by going to the library and checking out a DVD. And that seems so obsolete now, thanks to the internet and YouTube. I think when I was trying to learn, YouTube wasn't really a thing. And I didn't know any knitters or fiber artists in real life. I think after I taught myself to knit, I got a coworker who knew how to crochet, but I don't think she did much crochet. Just very simple stuff. Back in 2008, I decided I wanted to learn how to spin. 2009, I got my new to me spinning wheel. I had a spinning wheel before that. I got off eBay. It was an antique, no name, very hard to spin on. So for Valentine's 2009, my husband decided to order me a Kromsky Minstrel, and I still have that wheel. I have no other wheels. I have a few different spindles, but I don't like to spin as much as I like spinning on the spinning wheel, although I don't spin as much as I would like to. So that, and then crochet followed a few years after that, probably 2011, 2012. I still consider myself to be a newbie crocheter, although it's one of the more recent projects I've churned out might say otherwise, but I had a YouTube tutorial to follow, so that's why I felt confident and comfortable making something as advanced as I did. Quilting came along next. I've tried sewing clothes, that never turns out right. I am an amateur bag maker. If there's anything else you want to know, just feel free to ask. And, oh, okay. My 3 weeks ago or so, I I follow Yarn Candy on Facebook. It's a little boutique shop down in Arkansas, and she shared a link to something called Emotional Support Chicken. And I saw it and I shared it with some friends and said, I would totally make this in a heartbeat. But I would want to make it in the colors that reminded me of Furby. If you don't know who Furby is, if you go to my blog, I have a link that talks about her. But she was my house hen for 3 years, and she passed away last July. So I shared it. I shared about it, and didn't say too much after that. And a couple of my friends started cranking out the emotional support chickens, and I said, okay, now since my friends are doing it, I've got to, because I had the house hen. So I was out here not too long ago, like digging apart the yarn stash, looking for colors that would best close match her. And I think I found a couple. The next time I go to one of the hobby stores or Walmart, I'll be looking. But I think these colors might kind of match my Furby. Let's Let me open up and get a picture of her. So here is a picture of Furby. Here's the one color. Well, it's close. I think I would want more of a mustardy gold color to match. But I think this color might be spot on. Oh. So I purchased the pattern. I can start this at any time. And I thought to myself, well, let's make a knit along for it. So I went on Instagram and I took a look. And I think if I had said this maybe 2 weeks sooner, 3 weeks sooner than I am now, I could have been the originator of the emotional support chicken KAL hashtag, but someone else started that one. There's not too many on that hashtag on Instagram. So if you would like to stitch your own emotional support chicken with me, and I figure it'll probably the rest of the year. I don't know if there's a timeline on knit alongs or crochet alongs or stitch alongs or anything like that, but if you want to make one and you want to share it with the rest of the world, use the hashtag, which I'll also link in my show notes. I had thought about using hand spun for this, but the hand spun isn't quite the right color, and I don't know that I have enough. So I think if there was any bouncing, I apologize for that. I keep bouncing, touching the table, and it's making things move. A couple things that I wanted to say before I go that I probably should have said at the beginning of this was that thank you for watching the previous video and liking and commenting and leaving me notes, comments in the few places that I have a presence on social media. I had a really nice conversation with one of the gals on the comments over at the YouTube page. A few of the Facebook groups that I shared the link to the video and the blog were very complimentary, and I thank you. And I hope the ladies and gents that watched the video, they subscribed and keep coming back, because it's not easy coming out and recording yourself on video. Not coming out, but but recording yourself on a video and talking to yourself. It's awkward for someone who's as introverted as I am. It's different. So yeah, it's such a shame that by the time I get to the end of the videos, I feel more comfortable and I start blathering about anything and everything, but I can't be that comfortable at the beginning of the video. Um, yeah, so if you like the video, if you like what you're seeing on my channel, please subscribe. Liking, I guess, helps other people find me. They help boost up the algorithms, which I have a thing about algorithms, but for some things they're a necessary evil. Unless you're on Instagram, then they're just evil because they never show me anything that I want to see. And I think I'm losing my train of thought. I think next time I will share the names of some of the other knitting podcasts and Flosstubers that I watch. I try to, this may sound weird, I subscribe, unsubscribe, and subscribe to all kinds of channels because I figure that will mess with the algorithms and they'll start showing me new things. Otherwise, I get stuck in an information bubble. Like when I stopped watching Fat Quarter Shop. And I mean, there's nothing against the Fat Quarter Shop. There's personal reasons that I'm just not ready to watch them right now. Uh, I probably will down the road, but for months, even though I hadn't watched them, and it kept auto playing over to Fat Quarter Shop, and it didn't matter what I was watching. It always, the next video was something that I didn't want to see. So that's my little way of trying to mess with the system. I mean, I in the past I've watched 911 Stitcher, Doso Knits. I recently discovered Bernie Stitches, I think it's called. The Hygge Stitcher, Lori Holt. I kind of bounce back and forth with hers. She's got really informative videos. Knitting traditions, I find myself kind of drawn to the crafters who are sharing that live in Europe, and it seems to be right now Norway and Sweden. I'd love to know of other stitchers and knitters in other countries. Oh, Anna Knitter. I started watching her Vlogmas, and those were really fun, and I actually enjoyed watching those in the morning when I was getting stuff ready for the day. So if you have any suggestions for channels, let me know. Otherwise, this is it for now. Like and subscribe. Until next time.